All right, so to kick off our camera operator training, we're gonna start with some camera basics. Now, these are our cameras in the worship center. They're Hitachi cameras, and we love them. We have a great time with them. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend some time showing you all the buttons and knobs and what everything is and how you operate this camera for one of our weekend services or events. Now, if you've operated cameras before, hang in there with us. I promise you there's gonna be some stuff you can learn. There's gonna be some stuff that we do a little bit differently maybe than how you've done cameras before. So hang in there with us. You'll learn some stuff. And if you've never done cameras before, don't worry. We're gonna go over every piece about this camera that you'll need to use for the weekend services so that you can feel comfortable. Now, I don't know about you, when I know everything about a piece of gear that I'm working with, I feel a lot more comfortable as an operator, and when I'm more comfortable, I perform a lot better. And so that's our goal with this video, is we're gonna just kind of show you all the ins and outs of what it means to run these cameras. So we're gonna talk about some of the functions that you're gonna use most often here when you're serving here on the production team. And we're also gonna talk about some terminology and just a few small tips here and there that'll help you feel most comfortable when you're serving with us on the weekend. So first things first, let's take a look at the camera here. When you arrive to serve on any given service, the first thing you'll want to do is set the camera to be comfortable for you. Stand behind it, size it up, and adjust it as necessary. Some of our more common adjustments are adjusting the screen, the handlebar positions, and the focus and zoom orientations. After adjusting those and before moving your camera, you'll want to release the locking knobs on the left side of the camera. This will allow your camera to move up and down and side to side. Be sure to unlock those knobs before trying to move your camera. Never try to force the camera to move because it should move with ease. After the camera has been unlocked, you can test it to see if your adjustments threw the camera off balance. You can check that by letting go of the arms and seeing if the camera moves. One important trick to smooth camera operating is making sure that your camera is balanced well. Once your camera is adjusted and balanced, scoot your chair in to adjust the height, the lumbar and arm support as needed. 99% of our camera ops stand during worship and sit during the message portion of the service. So you'll want to be sure to check your seat before we get into service, because once we get going, there's not that much time to stop and adjust your seat. After that, you'll want to check your comm headset. There's one button on the back of the camera here that turns your headset on or off. If you're going to step down from your camera during a service or after service, be sure to turn off your headset so that it doesn't distract those sitting around your camera. When you get back on to serve, click it back up to enable the headset once again. One of the most common things we have to fix for people is their headset not working, but typically it's just the switch that needs to be flipped. The volume control for the headset is actually in a really funky spot at the front of the camera. We leave the volume up all the way, but if you need to adjust it, the adjustment is right there. Next is the focus handle. The focus you can pull towards you, or you can push the focus away from you, as you can see here. When you are getting more in focus, you can obviously tell by things coming into focus, but you can also use a few different tools. One way that you can tell that you're in focus is through a function called focus peaking, which you can see here. The second way that you can tell that you're in focus is by the focus bar at the bottom of your screen. Another way that you can tell your focus is by the numbers at the top of your screen. As you find your focus for certain individuals on stage, you can reference back to that number for commonly used shots. Over here we have the zoom handle. You can zoom forward, you can zoom backward, and you can also adjust your zoom speed. We typically leave it slow as most of our pushes and pulls are a little bit slower. Above the zoom rocker, you'll find the VTR button, which is the button that you can press to talk on your headset. Below your camera and above your tripod, you'll find that there are two tension knobs. One is for your pan and one is for your tilt. These adjust how much resistance there is when you push your camera left and right, which will help you run your camera a lot smoother. Up here, you have the tally lights. When your tally light is green, that means your director is looking at your shot. That means you're about to go live and you should keep doing what you've been doing. When you're red, that means your camera is live on screen. You don't want to make any major adjustments at this point. In fact, you want to keep doing what you're doing and don't change. If you're zooming, keep zooming and don't stop. If you're stationary, don't start moving. By taking you live, the director is trusting that you are going to do what you were set up to do. Final thing to know is your songs and know them well. Know when the lead singer is singing. Know when the electric guitar solos are. Know where the drum solos are. Know when the song gets really big, know when the rhythm and tempo of the music changes. In essence, know your songs really well. Back in the Team Basics videos, we talked about how you can access the music for the weekend. Use that to your advantage and listen to the songs on your way home from work or doing things around the house. And while you're listening, think through your camera shots and what would fit the movement of each song. If you, as a camera operator, know the music really well, then our video director is going to be set up for some serious success, and our worship services will be better because of it. That wraps it up for section 1 in basic camera operation. I've put a link to a PDF on our website that has our most used terminology that you can look at and reference. Maybe if I said something that you didn't know what it meant, that's a good reference point for you. Thanks again for watching this video, and we'll move on to section 2.